Now, let's go to the Java variable classifications. Okay? So in Java, there are 4 types of variables. Okay? There are 4 types on how we declare a variables and their data type. So first is the non-static field variable. We have the static field variable. We have a local variables and we have the parameter variables. The first one is the non-static variable. So what do I mean by non-static? So this variable is belongs to an object. Okay? So later on, ipapakita ko with my example kung ano ba si non-static variable. Objects keep their internal state in non-static field. Okay? So non-static are also called instance variable or the instance of a class. Okay? Or we can declare or we can call this variable by the use of the object or the instance of a class. Okay? So, paano siya ginagamit or paano siya gagamitin? The non-static variable is declared after the class or before the declaration of our main method. And to call it, we need to create an object to our main method to declare our variable or the value reside in the variables. Okay? Next. So what about the static field? Okay? Or the static variable. So the static variables that belong to a class. Again, it is belong to a class. So a static field variable has the same value for all the object that access this kind of variable. So static field variable are also called class variables. Okay? Next is the local variables. So local variable is a variable that is declared inside the method. Okay, so as you can see guys, this is the importance of static in our main method. Okay, kaya siya naging public static void main. Term static is the access modifier, tulad ng diniscuss ko last video, okay, na ang ibig sabihin, pwede tayong mag-declare ng variable inside this method without calling the class. Okay, a local variable is only accessible inside the method that declare it. As you can see in my example, so nasa loob siya ng main method. Meaning, sa loob lang siya ng main method magagamit. If we create a lot of method or if we create another method, so hindi na siya pwedeng gamitin. Kasi it is accessible only for that method or it is specific only for that method. Okay? So yun yung local variable. Okay, if you want to have a variable that is accessible by all method, you should declare or use the static variable as well as the non-static variable. Okay? Now, what are the parameter variable? A parameter variable is a variable that is passed to a method when the method is called. So parameter are also only accessible inside the specific method that declares them. So we have the example. As you can see from that example, a parameter is residing with the method itself. Okay? Or nakakontain siya with the method itself. Okay? Although the value is assigned to them when the method is called. This parameter variable is initiated when the method is called. So, doon lang siya natin pwedeng gamitin. Okay. Now, from my example, okay, this is how the variable is declared. It depends on what type of variable it is. Example, non-static, static, we have local parameter, Okay? So in Java, to declare a variable, first you need to define, okay? So dun sinabi ko kanina, first you need to define what kind of value yung i-store natin sa variable. Example, ang magiging value natin for such variable is 100. Okay, now, yung 100 na value, anong types ba siya ng data? Is it integer? Is it byte? Is it short? We have long, boolean ba siya? Double ba siya? Float ba siya? Or string? So now, from the value of 100, so nasa numeric data types lang siya. Okay? You can use byte, short, int, and long. But, just like what I've said, the most commonly used in numeric data type is integer. Okay? The first thing, if you declare a variable, is to declare its data type. So since nalaman na natin kung ano yung magiging value ng variable natin, okay, now we can use the int as the data type. Next is the name of the variable. So in naming a variable, any name is accepted. Okay? So wag lang guys maglalagay ng space sa naming ng variable, or you cannot use any name that has a special meaning. Why? Because it is a keyword. Okay? So pwede na mag-create ng kahit anong pangalan for our variable. Example, variable A, variable B, C, D, or ABC, or DEF. So it depends upon you guys kung ano yung gusto nyo ipangalan sa variable nyo. And again, in naming a variable, dapat guys is madaling matandaan yung ating variable. Because along the program, example, we have a series of code. So ngayon, pag masyado na tayong maraming variable, example, A, B, C, D, medyo malilimutan natin yan pagdating ng oras na nagkikreate tayo ng system natin or ng program natin. You should have unique name of variable, or from that unique name is madali pa siya matandaan. Now, a data type could be int, byte, short, and etc. It depends upon the value. Again, it depends upon the value that we will store in a variable. Okay? There are few rules and conventions related to the naming of variables. The first one is that the Java variable names are case sensitive. Say for example, the hello, which is yung maliit yung unahan, and hello, which is malaki yung unahan, has a different meaning. Okay? Java variable names must start with a letter or a sign, no? Which is $sign example, or underscore character. Because Java variable is more likely our identifier. Okay? And the last one is you cannot use space in variable name. Or you cannot use any reserved words in variable names. Because again, keyword is differ from identifier. Now, let's go to the Java math operators and math class. So there are 4 basic math operations in Java. So they are the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the division. And we can use this operation in our variables. So the question is how? Okay? Just like in mathematics, we can just add 2 variables with the value. Again guys, kung ano si variable natin is yun na mismo yung value natin. Okay? Example, we have the variable A is equals to 20. Meaning, the A is equivalent to 20. Or the A is 20 itself. Okay? And example, we have B is equals to 10. And now, the 10 is equivalent to B itself. And the B is equivalent to 10 itself. Okay? So, kumbaga, si B is 10 na mismo siya. And si A is 20 na rin mismo. Now, if we use the math operation, we can add the A plus B. Or we can perform subtraction, A minus B. Or we can perform multiplication, A multiplied by B. Or A divided by B. So now, I give you the example in real Java programming on how to declare a variable. But first, we need to classify a variable. Okay, the first variable, okay, or the first classification of variable is what we call the non-static variable. So how to declare these non-static variables? Okay, example, we have here the class, okay, and we have our method and our statement or the program statement. Okay, the non-static variables is declared in the class. Example, from this class, after this class, so I declare my non-static variable. Example, we have int a is equals to 2. Okay, so that is my non-static variable. So again, to declare a variable, first is we have to declare the type of a variable plus a variable name, and we have the values. Now, how to initiate the value of our variable? So as per discussion, so non-static variable is the variable of an object. So meaning, we need to create an instance object of a class. Example, from our class, so we have variable and constant. So siya yung class natin, which is this one. Okay? Now, we need to create our object to initiate this variable. Okay, so we have the class plus the object. Say for example, the name of my object is obj class. Okay, is equals to new variable and constants, which is our class. And this sign means that we are creating an object. Then we have to terminate this statement or line of code. Okay, now, to declare our variable, which is the A, using the statement or the program statement, we should first declare the object or the obj class. That means we have the member of our object, which is, makikita natin is meron na tayong variable A. So now, if I run this one, we have the output of 2, which is the value of our variable. Okay? So guys, from this example, so huwag kayo malilito, pinapakita ko lang yung classification ng variable. But ang gagamitin natin so far, okay, sa klase natin until midterm is more likely a local variables lang muna. Okay, so pinapakita ko lang guys kung paano mag-declare ng variables in such different ways. Okay? Next is the static variable. Now, how to declare this static variable? To declare the static variable, first you need to type the static at the beginning of your declaration, plus the data types or what kind of data yung i-hold natin sa ating static variable. Example, integer again. Then the variable name. Example, A is equals to 2. Okay. To declare these variables, you can type, or you don't need an object. You can directly declare the variable name in your statement. Okay? So, example, we have A, then run this one. And we have the output of 2 from the values of our variable A. Okay, by the way guys, kung nalilito kayo, yung sa quotation na inaalis ko with regards to the program statement, so the quotation is used only for the standard output. Okay? Now, since a variable has this special meaning, we don't need the quotation. Or you can use this one to add some name to our output. Example, we have the quotation. The output. Okay? So, yun yung pangalan ng ating standard output. Then, you should put plus sign. Okay? Meaning, from the standard output, we add variables. Okay? So, let's try to run this one. So, we have the output 2. Okay? So, again, the quotation is used only for the standard output. Okay? Used for message, kumbaga. Okay? To create a sentence, to create a word, to create a simple message. Or a simple word or sentence. Okay? If we are trying to initiate a keyword or something that has a special meaning, hindi natin kailangan si quotation. Okay, next, what we are trying to declare is the local variable. So, ano man si local variable? From the term local, so meaning sa loob lang siya ng method, i-declare. Kasi guys, tulad ng non-static variables natin and the static variable, it is accessible to all program na gagawin natin. While si local variable is only accessible in the method or inside the method. Okay? So, example. So, we have this method. Okay? So, ito yung method natin, guys. So, now, from this curly braces or from the initializer up to this initializer or sa pinakababa, so, hanggang dito lang yung method natin. So, meaning, sa loob ng method, so, dito lang natin magagamit si local variable. Example, we have int a is equals to 2. Okay? Then we should declare the a. We have from our program statement, nag-declare tayo ng a. And we have our 2. Or let's say we add some text which is local variable plus yung variable natin. So, the plus sign means that we add something to our statement. Okay? If I run this one, so we have the local variable 2. Okay? Now, how do we use a variable for operation? Okay. Now guys, from this example, so sabi ko kanina, most likely from this part until midterm, more likely ang gagamitin natin is local variable lang muna. So wag niyo na munang isipin si static variable and si non-static variable. So later on natin siya magagamit. Okay? Now, how to use a variable for math operations. So example, nag-declare pa tayo ng isa pang variable which is b. Okay? So try natin. So we have int b is equals to 3. Now we have the a that have a value of 2 and we have the b with the value of 3. Meaning, we have the a that contain the value of 2. Or the a itself is already 2. Okay? By default. Kumbaga, si a is 2 and si 2 is a. As well as b is 3 and the 3 is b. Okay? Now, we can use this one in math operations. Example, we have A plus B. So, the result is something like 5. Okay, now, na-identify natin na 5 yung magiging result niya. So, we can use the data type of int. Okay? Add is equals to A plus B. Okay. Next, let's try subtraction. A minus B has the result of negative 1. Since na-identify na natin kung ano yung magiging result ng subtraction natin, which is negative 1, okay, we can use again the int as data type. Int subtraction or sub is equals to A minus B. The next, we have A or multiplication. So we have A multiplied by B, or 2 multiplied by 3 is equivalent to 6. Meaning, pwede pa rin natin gamitin si data types of int. Int multiply is equals to A. So by the way guys, the asterisk sign is used for multiplication in Java. B. Okay. The next is the division. Now, A divided by B or 2 divided by 3 is something, or the result is something to do with decimal point. Okay? So, since may decimal point yung magiging result natin in terms of division, so hindi natin pwedeng gamitin si byte, si short, si int, and si long. So, since decimal point siya guys, what we are using is the double. Okay? A divided by B. And in division, what we are using is the slash sign. Now, from this formula, we can declare all of this output using the program statement. How? Okay, let's try. So, using the system.out.print, so we have 4 formula using the math operation. So, we need 4 program statement para ma-declare natin siya one by one. Okay, let's say for example, addition. So, let's try the result. So, subtraction plus this variable sub. So, next is multiplication. Plus our variable mul. Okay? And the last one is the division. Plus our variable div for division. So, let's try the output. Kung ano yung mangyayari. Okay? So, we have here. So, the addition is 5. No? The subtraction result is negative 1. The multiplication result is 6. And the division result is, of course, 0. Because 2 divided by 3 is cannot be. So, it is 0.0. Okay? So, that's it. So, I hope that you learned from this video. So, just tune in my channel for more Java updates. Okay? Thank you.